Our last look at Philippine geopolitics took place just before the 2022 presidential elections. Now, a year later, with the continually increasing tensions in the great power competition between Beijing and Washington, along with the latter's newly signed agreement with Manila, it's a good time to return to the subject. After strained relations throughout the middle portion of the last decade, following the 2012 Scarborough Shoal incident and Beijing's subsequent violations of the American-brokered settlement, as well as attempts by former Philippine President Rodrigo Duterte to play the superpowers off against each other, the Manila-Washington relationship has warmed again in recent years, with the longtime Cold War allies closing ranks amidst the renewed great power competition. We previously covered the comprehensive agreement signed by Duterte with the Americans just prior to leaving office, posturing that has continued under his ally and successor, Ferdinand Marcos Jr., better known as Bongbong Marcos, son of the Cold War caudillo. Although the American military has not had a permanent presence in the Philippines since 1991, with the closure of dedicated American Air Force and naval bases, America has been able to use a collection of Philippine bases for its missions both in the Philippines and around the South China Sea region, a region where geopolitical tensions today are at their highest. The agreement concluded on February 2, 2023, even further expands the Philippine-American military and strategic partnership. The agreement lays out several initiatives, one of which is to expand the number of Philippine military facilities that American forces have access to, as well as the potential construction of a series of new Philippine facilities also accessible to the Americans. The exact facilities that are being opened up for the partnership have not been made public. However, there is widespread speculation, mainly based on previously announced plans. For example, America has long expressed interest in gaining access to the facilities at Cagayan. There are 2 installations here which the American military reportedly hopes to gain access to. The location would be extremely strategic, overlooking the South China Sea and across to Taiwan. Other Philippine bases which are reportedly being opened up for the plan include those at Isabela, Zambales, and Palawan near Borneo. However, these basing agreements are only one portion of the newly agreed plan. The partnership also calls for foreign investment, as well as a focus on attempting to reduce the Philippines' unemployment, thus reducing the propaganda influence of the ever-present communist guerrillas, a subject we did cover in a previous video. There are also plans to increase American boots on the ground in the Philippines. Currently, the American garrison is about 500, and the troops have to be rotated on a regular basis. Although the latter part won't change, and these bases will still be Philippine-owned facilities, America is expected to dramatically up its troop count, this being accommodated by the newly available facilities. As we've looked at in the past, Philippine domestic politics have always been tied into world geopolitics. When examining the situation of the Philippines, either domestically or internationally, it's always important to account for the impact of one upon the other, and vice versa. On the geopolitical side, there's no doubt that the Philippines holds a centerpiece position in the great power competition between Washington and Beijing, with the country essentially being a frontline state and representing a foothold for the American-aligned bloc along the South China Sea, as well as serving as a potential jumping-off point for operations in Taiwan or the South Pacific. Any such operation would almost certainly involve Philippine forces as well. The interests of the American-aligned bloc largely mirror Philippine national security interests, with both facing the same ever-growing threats. Thus, it's unsurprising to see the long-time partnership deepened, with the American-Philippine relationship as tight as it's been since the height of the original Cold War. We will continue to watch future developments in the Philippines, as well as in the region and the Indo-Pacific at large. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this content, make sure you subscribe to the channel and hit the bell button. And if you haven't yet, please check out the project that forms the basis for these videos at apoliticalworldmap.org. You can also help out the channel by liking this video and leaving a comment. Also, share this video with anyone else who might be interested so we can continue to grow this community. Thank you so much again for watching. I'm Alex. I am out.